back to the Forest Brothers podcast. It's your boy Mutsa Chris Down back in the cut, joined by my brother Sangi. What is good, Sangi?
What's going on, bro?
What's going on? What's going on? And yeah, today, listener, we're gonna talk about a very, very serious and pertinent issue in the Premier League based off of the games that we've seen today, and obviously also this past weekend and throughout the league in general, and that is corruption and inconsistencies in the Premier League. So we're gonna go through it like this. We're gonna talk about the Fulham Spurs game first because there's a lot to unpack there. Then we're gonna talk about the United and Crystal Palace game because again, a lot to unpack there. And then the finale, Arsenal Chelsea, because there's a lot more to unpack there. So we're gonna go in chronological order of how the games were played today, and every single piece of corruption, inconsistencies, and just messed upness that we saw throughout these games today. So anyway, starting with the Fulham and Spurs game, let me just say this. I have never been as disgusted as a football fan as I was today. I was livid. Like, I literally almost switched the TV. I literally almost threw the remote at the TV. I was about to rage. That's how crazy I felt. How That's how rage baited I was for the Premier League today. Because again, we saw a situation in which Fulham's first goal, Raul Jimenez had two goals, two hands in the back of Dragusin in a cross, right? Where Jimenez pushes Dragusin, heads the ball, and then Wilson scores his goal, right? The goal stands. It goes to a VAR check. VAR looks at it. They're like, yeah, that looks good to us. That's not that. Yeah, it's cool. And to us as a Spurs fan base, I was aghast. I was even like, okay, as soon as it started saying we're gonna go to VAR, I knew they're gonna give the goal because I'm like, listen, from what I understand, last week we saw Gabriel do the same thing happened with Gabriel and Kolo Muani. Muani hands in the back. Gabriel obviously faked the whole thing, dove, whatever he did, and Kolo Muani's goal was chopped off. It could have been 2-2 Spurs Arsenal, and then we don't know what would have happened after that. We might have still lost Arsenal. Who knows? Point being, the nature of that game could have been different. The outcome could have been very different if Spurs went up 2-2 against Arsenal, right? Because as soon as that goal was taken away, we've talked about this before, the Spurs demeanor just changed. They lost all hope, right? And that game ended 4-1, right? I don't think that game ends 5-2, for example. I don't believe it gets to that point because again, if we go 2-2, maybe Spurs tighten up, we defend better. Maybe we'll go for the third goal. Who knows? Maybe Arsenal need to get that win so they fight more, creates more open space. Spurs going to counter. We don't know what could have happened at that point. But again, any hope in a Spurs, and we're already very delicate and very, very like, we're already out. Spurs' mental state right now is just very, very weak, right? We just had a
Yeah,
bad run of games. We haven't won a game in 2026. Our last win was right after Christmas last year. So these players are suffering from confidence. So any little thing that goes our way, that goes wrong, we're not scoring that many goals either. So the fact that we got a goal and it was taken away, it's a mental thing now, right? So anyway, point being, because we didn't get that goal, it affected how that game went. Today, we lost to Fulham. That goal stood, right? And I can't imagine. And Samson, remember we spoke about this in the last part about how some of these decisions, when they happen to a team or a player, and the situations are treated differently by the refereeing body, what it does to a player or to a team is it ruins morale, right? Last week, we lost to Arsenal because of something similar. They told us two hands in the bag is a foul. That's the rule, no matter what. Two hands in the bag, clear foul, no goal. Boom. Okay. This week, two hands in the back of our player. Nope, that's a goal. Two hands in the back door. Nah, that's a goal. Wasn't clear. Even the commentators were like, "Oh yeah, it's a different situation altogether." And we're like, get the hell out of here." In fact, this was worse. This was a harder push on Dragusin than what Colomwani did to Gabriel,
yeah. This was he was very aggressive there. He was very
right?
aggressive with it. Yeah,
So again, because we then considered that goal, you saw Spurs' body language change after that. We already have everything going against us. Now we've been told, actually, this goal stands. Now, as a player, I can't imagine thinking that all of them are just like, wait a minute. so last week, and maybe that makes them angry, maybe makes them deflated. I don't know, because Colomani did end up having a good game today anyway. Maybe that was because of that. Maybe he was just now in his head, like, man, this league. So for me personally, after I saw that happen, I really just wanted to switch everything off. I was I, I was so disgusted and so angry by what I saw, with that goal. And of course, Iwobi scored a good goal. Sure, fair and fine. We managed to like fight back. Richarlison scored one other goal, and you never know. Like if it was like 1-1, you know, Spurs really needs a point right now. We really need any point we can get. We want it. So the fact that we're unable to get a draw today, again, relegation battle. That's the story, right? That's what everybody keeps saying. Mutsa, you're
Yep.
getting relegated. Mutsa, you're going down. It's over. It's over with for Spurs. Like that's the fun thing right now. People are bantering us. This is our banter era, right? People are like, "Yo, man, enjoy championship." No, that's what people keep saying. So I don't know if the Premier League likes that right now, like with the butt of the joke. Like, yeah, let's screw over Spurs. Like, yeah, let's just toy with them. So I don't know. Samson, because you as an Arsenal fan, I know last week you felt that for sure, Gabriel, that was that was crazy. Yeah, I don't know why you dive in like that, and maybe you didn't feel too angry about it because again, you benefited from that. So either way, you're gonna come off. You don't care, not that invested. But today, after what you saw, what are your thoughts?
So look, I wasn't concerned as much with the referee calling it because if you call it and you say, yeah, according to the rules, this is a foul, whatever, fine, I can accept it. I can accept, even if it was happening to me, I'd be annoyed, but I'd accept it, because it's like, all right, it's in the rules. Y'all agree this is the rules. What happens when that situation happens? That's what's given. Fine. I was more so mad at Gabriel because he didn't have to fall down. He could have headed that. He's too big and too strong to not compete for something like that. Um, I mean, you saw how he scored today. He he basically dragged Chalobah like 3 meters and headed over him. Like he's not weak. He can handle himself. He just decided to go down. But I had no issues with it because if you call that every time, I don't think anyone has an issue with it. Like I think even Spurs fans, if they called it today and said, you know what, Raul Jimenez, 2 hands at the back, Spurs fans would have quickly forgotten about Gabriel because they're like, oh, that's the rule. It's applied everywhere. Okay, sure. The fact that not a week later you are flipping it and you're saying, oh yeah, that's cool now. Like to me, that's crazy. That's insane. Like, because I've been the guy who's spoken about inconsistencies, and this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, it can't be a foul for them and no foul for them. Like, it has to be across the board. You're calling that every single time. I don't care who's refereeing. I don't care who the VAR official is. Everyone refereeing the game, especially if VAR is going to get involved. Because this wasn't just like in the past, it's just the referee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know, okay, you're like, oh, this referee, like he lets some things go, this referee doesn't. You don't know. This has VAR involved. VAR has time to sit down, slow it down, look at it from multiple angles, look at the rule book. They can open up a book in there, man. They can find exactly what they need to find. And still they get it wrong. Like, I don't know. Because VAR gets involved when it's clear and obvious, right?
Yeah.
If it's a rule, like a dead-on rule, 2 hands in the back, foul, then the referee made an error. Clear and obvious. Is that in the rule book? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Chalk it off. Like, I don't get how they missed it. So I understand Spurs fans for being upset with this. I'd be upset too. And I think, yeah, the referees really screwed you over today. Because
The
also
only consistency.
that was in the 7th minute as well. So to your
Exactly. That was
point,
early. That was
that that
early.
that could have really dented confidence. So yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The only consistency right now is screwing over Spurs. That's what they're consistent about. Because again, when we talked last week, same thing happened. Ekitike and Romero. Ekitike hands Romero, Liverpool, boom, we lose, right? They say go stands. Oh, that was a foul. No, it wasn't. Okay, go stands. Next time, Arsenal, Muani, Muani hands on Gabriel. Okay, cool should stand, right? Boom. No, 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 no. That was a foul. No, we're gonna take that away from you. We lose 4-1. Today, Fulham. Like, all right, okay. Now we're clear, right? Two hands in the back, right? Nope. No, no, no. Just because it's you who benefit from that, I ain't gonna give it to you. That goal stands. And again, for me, I swear, if I was a Spurs fan, a Spurs player on that pitch, and they made that goal stand, I'm walking off. Like, if this happens again, they have to walk off. They have to. They have to. Like, Tudor had to go on that pitch and fight the ref. Like, he has to go on there and throw punches. Like, I don't care. Like, if this thing happens again to us, especially on Thursday, like, in our next game, if something similar happens and we don't benefit from the situation, or like it's not refereed, because again, what pisses me off the most is that throughout the whole week, we've had the PJ Mowell, the FA, like all the refs, whatever, come out and confidently stand on business and
Right.
say, two hands on the back is a foul. You poor man do not know the rules of the game. Two hands on the back means a foul. Learn, educate yourself. Spurs, stop being crybabies. All right? Fix yourselves.
Uh,
Well, I hate that.
I'm about to tell you it's different. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know the angle they're gonna come with. I see two angles. One angle is gonna be like, yo, he's not actually the one who scored. So technically, it's different. It's different. And the second angle, they're probably gonna be like, yo, that's a different phase of play, like come on. We can't go back that far, What do you mean? Like the ball went out for another cross, it came back in. That's a whole different thing. Why are we going back to that?
Some of the explanations, excuses I've seen online is, oh, they were both jumping. So the fact that it was already jumping and going forward means that the push didn't have any effect on the chain of play. That's some of the stuff I've seen today.
Bro, he was folded up on the ground. I think it had an effect. He was on his back, his legs were in the air. Like, that's not a natural position. No one falls like that.
Man, I'm telling you, like it's absolutely disgusting what is being done to Spurs right now. Like I get it, we're fun to laugh at. I get it, like I get that people love to talk about the Spurs bottle job, Spursy, and all that hullabaloo and nonsense. I get it, but at some point, man, we just have to look at ourselves and say, as a footballing, as a fan, no matter where you lie, you just have to look at this and be like, this is actually bad for football because the fact that it's happening to us means it can happen to anybody. And I know, Samson, you've had your own grievances with the referees. I know, but I'm just saying when things are this blatant, come on, like we're losing the plot here. Like we're losing the essence of what the sport is. Like, what are we doing? So that was my main gripe with that particular incident, and it could have really like been different for us. Like I said, we really needed the point. Fortunately for us, Nottingham Forest and West Ham lost this past weekend. So in terms of like the relegation battle, we're still 4 points. I think only 2 points ahead of Forest. So our game with them is going to be really important for sure. But for now, it's like we're not in an immediate danger zone. But I can't imagine what would have been if West Ham won their game, Forest won their game. Again, would already like go down one, and would only like Forest have gone above us. West Ham would be 1 point behind us. So that would have very, 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 very intense ramifications. So that's the only thing right now that is technically saving us is that the people below us stink.
Right.
That's it. If it wasn't for that, it'll be it'll be pandemonium out here. I'd have flown to the UK myself to fight. Like, so I mean, I'm almost about to do that. I'm almost about to do that. So anyway, any
Bro,
more thoughts about what's happening here? Like, you know what? Finally, on this thing, I really do feel like Spurs needs to stand on business. Even if you get fined, we need to complain and complain heavily because if you look at how other teams that complain now get treated, we saw Liverpool win the title last season because of the whole David Coop thing. and every other incident that happened to them, where they now complained all the time. So it made refs treat them differently. Like, okay, we can't have any more scandals with Liverpool. Whatever decision is happening, hopefully most of the time it's in Liverpool's favor. We have to, right? Arsenal last season, a lot of stuff happened. They complained a lot, like they do. Now we're seeing more favorable decisions go towards Arsenal. Spurs, shit's been happening to us for years now. It's only gotten worse, but we need to stand on business. I need Tudor, I need the chairman, I need the board, I need the players come out and make statements, man, because we can't keep allowing this, man. Like we can't keep just taking it and be like, oh, it is what it is. Like, come on, man, pick yourselves up. Anyway, that's
I'm
that's
just
my rant.
I'm just gonna say, Mikel called the Premier League refs a disgrace in 2023, and they still whooped our ass 2 seasons in a row. So I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a long road, bro. It's a long road. But hey, man, a complaint. I think bringing it to light is the first step. You should always call it out, because even if it makes them more intense against you, like, someone should have a record. When they look up news stories in this period, as a matter of history, like, people should know that, the referees were on some bullshit between this time and this time, because otherwise, they can gaslight us. They can tell us, oh, these things never happened. Imagine if Liverpool never made any noise. We'd still think David Cook is an upstanding citizen. We can't have that happen. We need to call these things out as we see them. And I'm sure more and more refs will come under the microscope. Because remember, even Michael Oliver, he had that game where he sent off MLS. Before that game, people thought Michael Oliver is one of the best refs in the world. Next week, he was in championship. He was doing championship shifts. Because again, accountability is important. It's important to bring these guys down a level, because sometimes referees really do act like God on the football pitch. Like, they can be questioned, can be judged, and that's just not any way to have the Premier League behave. So yeah, I'm
I
with
really
you.
wonder where that's come from because it's a very new phenomena, where refs feel the need to, and Nkosi always talked about this, you know, about how referees are now acting like, again, gods on the pitch and just doing whatever they want and wanting the names to be out there, you know? Like Michael Oliver, like we never used to know referee names. I think the only referee we used to know was Howard Webb. And that's also because of some of the decisions you make in Man United's favor, right? Things like that. So generally speaking, we're not supposed to know what these guys' names are. They're not supposed to be a main talking point, a feature, right?
Yeah.
But now, as years have kept ticking by, referees keep doing way more worse things. PG Mawel and now the VAR as well. Like, what's the point of VAR if it's not being used correctly? Just stop using it then, because it's making everything worse. It's making players not celebrate their goals. It's ruining the flow of things. They're not even making the right decision as well. Like if they were like stopping the game for 5 minutes, but the right outcome happens, I think as a football society will be like okay with it. But the fact that they still take time on some decisions and get it wrong, it's like what are we doing then? Like scrap the whole thing, right? Like so I don't know if like right now they feel like they're in too deep. They spend too much money on VAR and they can't go back. I don't know what it's gonna take for a serious investigation or a serious thought or whatever is put into, do we really need this thing or do we not need this thing? Let's do away with it. I don't know if there was a time period of let's test it out. I don't know if there was that period or not. Like let's see if it works in this next couple of seasons, and if people like it, we keep it. If people don't like it, we get rid of it. Did that happen at all, or was it just hey, this is here now, get used to it? I don't know.
I think VAR was tested in other leagues or like other competitions. Like FIFA tested it out first, and then it was up to the leagues independently to like adopt it. But I don't think the Premier League like tried it out or said like, let's try it out for a year. I think they just dived into it. And
Mm.
every year since, they've like tried improvements here and there, but yeah, it still feels it just feels like whatever dumb decision the ref makes on the pitch, there's an equally dumb ref in the booth, like trying to hype him up or like trying to like save him. Because I mean, we've seen this. Like, there's been a ref that was interviewed, and he was like, because they were asking him like, "What's it like being a VAR official?" And he was like, um, sometimes like I don't want to send a guy to the monitor because I don't want to like undermine him or like I don't want to like ruin it for him, like make it seem like he doesn't know what he's doing. So like he was basically saying, I will back the ref just because I don't want to hurt his feelings or like he's my friend, type of thing. So it's like you do have those situations still. Like it's not like, you know, it should be when they intervene, they should be saying, yo, you got this wrong. This rule you've misinterpreted or whatever it is. You need to overturn that. That's what VAR should be. Like it shouldn't be like, yo, in my opinion, or I think, or nah, you go, queen, like type of situation. Like, what are we doing, bro? Like it's your job to like be the have the rule book and like make sure the ref is sticking to the rule book. I don't know why, it deviates from that. So yeah.
I've actually never thought about that angle about how, because some of the refs that are in VAR are also like match officials,
Yeah.
right?
Like they rotate.
They rotate, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it does make sense. Like if I'm in VAR and like maybe I have beef with Michael Oliver, any choice he makes, I'm like, hey, you need to go to the screen because I'm trying to like make him look like, hey, this guy stinks. He's
Right.
gotten this decision wrong. So, and then it's like, okay, if I actually like Michael Oliver, I'm not trying to do that to him. I'm going to trust what he says.
Right.
So, actually, I've never thought about that, like in terms of how that's actually kind of crazy. I would have thought that they would have an independent body that looks at this stuff. And like even refs that have
No.
retired, like
No.
sit up there and you don't have any ties to, I don't know.
It should be like because the NBA does such a much better job of this because the NBA, they have all their games playing. And while the game is playing, there's always a group of refs sitting in an office in New Jersey that if there's something that needs to be reviewed, it gets sent to them. Now, they're already watching the games wherever they are.
Mm.
It's just that when something needs to be reviewed, they actually like stop and take a look at it and go over the rules and like, they deliberate over the thing, like, and that's like the main office. That's like the main ref office. Like, final decision comes from there. Like, if it's something that needs to be decided, by the. When it comes back, the referee can't be like, "Oh, this was my interpretation." Like, nah, they made the decision. They're telling you, like, "Yo, whatever you gave, that was BS. Erase that. Give this." Like, they have the rule book. They're telling you what's in the rules. They don't give a damn about your interpretation. Like, yo, nah, do this. And I think that's how it should be because, like, at the end of the day, it's about following the rules. It's not about like following what some guy thinks. Like, if it's an interpretation thing, then you don't intervene, right? It's you intervene when it's clear and obvious. So by definition, if it's come to you, if you're reviewing it, if there's a decision to be made, then it's clear. You should be doing what you're saying. So I don't get it. I don't get why we don't just do it like that.
You know, for me, like the more I think about it, like VAR is just a mechanism and a tool to remove accountability, right? A ref is not going to be held accountable for making the wrong choice or the wrong decision because VAR is supposed to step in.
Right.
So if VAR steps in and say, "Hey, yeah, he's right," it takes away any form of blame, even though the decision is crazy, and vice versa, right? Like if, yeah. So again, I think it's I don't know why we needed that. Like it's not like we target refs anyway, but for me, I think it is a proper thing because refs should feel pressure to be accountable. And refs should feel like, hey, I can't just do whatever I want because now I feel like they can do that and they know, hey, my buddy's up there today, so
Right.
whatever I decide, buddy gonna stand behind me.
Because also, we must remember that like the main thing VAR was brought in to fix was offsides, right? To make sure that like because offside, I know the thinking was an offside is an offside. We're not debating it. Like they control the line, cool, right? But even that, hasn't gone 100% the way we thought it was going to go. So it's just like, you know, I'm sure. I mean, like like I think overall the hit rate is still pretty high. It's just that there's way too many mistakes for an additional set of referees with replay ability. Like I can understand the main referee, getting some things wrong because he's human and he doesn't have replay. But you have replay. You're sitting comfortably in an office, or like a van. I don't know where exactly they are, but like you're comfortable, bro. You're not running around. You're not chasing people around. You've got some tea, some coffee, you've got some snacks, you're chilling, bro. Like, how is this difficult? Like, you're doing your job remotely. Like, how are you getting it wrong? We could do VAR. Like,
We
it's
could.
it's literally not that hard. You can, like, it doesn't have to be, it should be like a 99% hit rate. The only things that should be contested is like, remember a few years ago, there was that rule about like pulling a player's hair, like they didn't know
Mm,
what the rule was. Something like that, where the rule isn't clear, I get it, fine. But these things, nah, these things should never even happen. So,
no, no, they
yeah.
should not. So I'm very disgusted by what happened to Spurs today. I am very, very disgusted. But moving on to the Man United and Crystal Palace game, United won the game 2-1. And in that particular game, we saw the first goal was Cunha. And it was a penalty, actually. Well, was it the first goal?
That was
Yeah.
the
No, no, that
equalizer,
was the
no?
second. That was the equalizer.
Yeah,
Because Crystal Palace had scored first,
yeah.
and they were doing pretty well. And yeah, Cunha, it was Man United's first goal anyway. So Lacroix was holding Cunha's shoulder outside of the box, by the way, clearly outside of the box, and he wasn't necessarily pulling him or pushing him. His hand was just they were tussling because even Cunha was holding on to him at some point, and then Cunha let him go, and he's trying to get the ball, and then the whole sequence started outside of the box. They get into the box. Cunha's like, it's my time to shine, and sprang board onto that grass. He's like, yeah, I'm a dip right in, and of course he's gonna fall and he's gonna make a meal of it. And again, it goes to VAR. The referee does point to the spot penalty. There's VAR check. They're like, yeah, 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 yeah. It might have started outside the box, but Cunha fell inside the box, so we're gonna give it as a penalty, even though it's one of the softest penalties we've ever seen. Because I'm trying to think if that happened anywhere on the pitch, does that get given? You
My
know?
question is, was it given as a denial of a goal scoring opportunity? Is that why it
Both.
got sent off?
Yes. So it was a foul, first of all, like, okay, put down in the box, sure. And then I don't know if it's double jeopardy or what it's supposed to be, because again, I think they say it's double jeopardy
If it's the keeper.
you if it's not even if it's a player that, like, if you make an attempt and you hit the ball or something like that. I think that's what counts as double. I'm even a little confused on what constitutes as double jeopardy. If you're in the comments, please let us know if you know when a player is only supposed. Because my understanding is, if you cause a penalty, at the very most you get a yellow card, right? Unless you did something completely nuts.
You're right. Double jeopardy states that you can't give a pen and a red card. Like,
Exactly.
because again, once you're in the box and you foul someone, you are denying a goal scoring opportunity anyways. Like, that's a given. I thought the denial of goal scoring thing only applied to outside the box.
Yeah, because I mean you're already getting penalized, right? They're gonna
Right.
have to take a penalty. So
Yeah.
at the very most, it's supposed to be a yellow card. It's a caution, like, yo, right?
Yeah.
But a red card doesn't make any sense. So that's the thing as well. Now it's like I'm confused. When is it supposed to be double jeopardy, and what is supposed to be a clear foul? And hey, you denied a goal scoring opportunity, and we're giving the pen too. Like,
And just to make this crazier, um, because referees like to analyze stuff. Remember they gave again. I'll never shut up about it. They gave Saliba a red for stopping someone at the halfway line because they started drawing lines about where the ball would have fallen, where it would have bounced. He would have controlled it. If they analyze this play, Cunha's on his left foot. even though he's beaten what's his name?
Lacroix.
Lacroix, he's not fully ahead of him. Like he's not gone. Like
Yeah.
Lacroix, like he still to get past him. Like he's still there. Like I know he fouled him, but like he wasn't like gone, you know. Like Lacroix wasn't like reaching to the furthest tips to get him. Like he was right there with him. So that's number one. Number two, there's a covering defender and the keeper, like, and he's on his weak foot, like, he's not scoring. So, like,
Yeah.
it even defeats that. But I think the damning thing for me is that number one, it's outside the box, and number two, this was the exact same situation with Gehi and Salah a few weeks ago. It's like the exact same thing where like the foul, Gehi makes sure he fouls him or grabs him outside the box. Salah continues inside the box. And they're like, oh, the contact happened here, so it's a free kick. It's not a penalty. And there's this covering defender, so it wasn't a denial of a goal scoring opportunity. It's the
And they
same
did look at
thing.
that. They did look at, oh, was this a denial of goal scoring opportunity? They also did look at that. And then
Yeah,
they're
they
like,
said
nah,
no.
it
They're like,
wasn't. Yeah, they
there's
said
another
no.
defender, whatever, like
Exactly.
weak foot. Like same, like I don't get it.
It's those inconsistencies we keep talking about. Because again, it's not as if Lacroix like really, really did bring Cunha down. His hand is on his shoulder. The way Cunha fell, he fell forward. It's not like he fell back. So
Yeah,
again, that means that Lacroix pushed him, right?
yeah.
But that's not what happened.
I've just
Because
seen the
Lacroix,
fall.
it right, like even the way he fell is not consistent with Lacroix doing something to like fouling him.
Yeah, he's
So
being dragged back, but he fell literally like.
he fell forward. So
Yeah,
again, like I don't know how that doesn't constitute simulation. Anyways, okay, you give the pen as a red card. That is crazy.
yeah,
That's a crazy red card to give somebody because there's a double jeopardy thing and there's the nature of the foul. You're
yeah.
saying denial of a goal scoring opportunity. Is it really? If it's in the box and you're really giving a pen? Anyway, I just thought that was nuts. I tried to talk to some United fans about it. They told me to shut up. I was like, man, y'all need to be honest, man. Y'all just need to just keep it honest, man. And that's the thing with football fans, and we keep talking about this. People don't like to be honest when it benefits them, right? At the end of the day. So they would rather be like, yeah, that's cool and all. And I was like, am I being crazy? Until I went online, I was like, and people were like, yo, man, this is nuts. That was not a penalty. And even if it was, that's not a red card offense. Because again, because of and Lacroix is a major, major player in that defense for Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
We don't know what it could have ended 1-1 because
Could have
I'm
ended
trying to
one
think
nil.
that red card happened in the 56th minute.
Could have ended
Sesko,
1-0.
yeah, Sesko scored in the 65th minute. So, oh, and the penalty, right? So it could have been 1-1. Bruno scores the penalty, sure, fine. But if Raquel still on the pitch, I don't know if United score again because Sesko was not having a great game either way. Sesko had been having a very poor game that day, like today. Mbuemo was having a very poor game. Cunha, if it wasn't for that interaction, he wasn't necessarily playing his best. Bruno was, just chucking crosses, but Bruno wasn't necessarily like Man United didn't have that many opportunities, right? Except a few crosses, misplaced headers from Casemiro, all that stuff, right? But there wasn't really any like, oh, Man United's on top. Crystal Palace was actually on top of United for the majority of that game until the red card, obviously. So again, these are the things that we talk about when we speak about how these inconsistencies in these refereeing decisions affect the marginal things, right? Like on the margins. Because right now United beat Crystal Palace, so they're obviously up to third. Chelsea, we're gonna get there because of their loss to Arsenal, are now down at sixth, right? So
Mhm.
this top four race thing as well is now becoming like whoever gets to top, like it's very, very in Europe. So it's now Champions League in Europe. Now all these decisions are gonna affect whether you play Champions League or you play Europe or you don't play either. Where you finish in the table is very important for these teams, right? So these decisions have big effects monetarily because you make more money if you get into a bigger competition, position in the league, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That to me was a very very crazy. I don't know how you saw the game, Sangi, and what what you make of that red card and that foul and everything that transpired afterwards.
Yeah, that was a crazy red card. I think the game at 1-0, and I'm not saying United wouldn't have come back. I think they still have one of the best attacking records in the league. So they've been able to come back from games. This isn't the first time they've been 1-0 down in the last few weeks. So maybe they would have come back, but you make that decision in the 55th minute. Like, come on, you know, that's because also that's Man United are at home, because you talk about the psychology of things. If you're at home, you're down 1-0, you're struggling to create, you're not getting good shots, the crowd is on your back, right? Especially the later the game goes. Imagine that red card happens at the 85th minute. That's a whole different vibe. Like the next, who knows, they might even go 2-0 down, like, because your home crowd seeing you lose to an underdog, that's always difficult. You give them that red card, you don't just give a red card, you give a red card and a pen. You basically give them a get out of jail free card. Like, all of a sudden, they're level and the crowd is excited because they're like, this is food. We have food in front of us. Their best defender is gone. We're level. Let's get this. Like, the ref doomed them. The ref doomed Crystal Palace. There's no way they're winning that game. Like, because I mean, I would have understood just one day. Give a red, free kick, fine, whatever. But the fact that you basically gave them a goal, you know, not to say that people can't miss pens, but come on, Bruno and a penalty. Like, what are we doing? That's basically a goal you've given them. I thought, yeah, the referee kind of gave United the game there.
Yeah. And again, as we're saying, these inconsistencies, they have big effects and they affect where these teams. It's not like these are small decisions that really don't mean much in the grand scheme of things. So these things are very, very important. And you know, that was a big one for the United game. But anyway, on to the biggest game that we need to talk about these inconsistencies and how they affect the league, right? If you talk about the Chelsea and the Arsenal game, again, a game that I felt very, very disgusted by and very, very disillusioned as a football fan. Firstly, because all three goals we saw today were from set pieces. These are London Derby. Why do I have to watch y'all battle it out on corners to score goals? Give me some give me some open play, man. Give me a screamer. What the hell? Like, this is not this is not what we're supposed to be getting, right? Like, come on, do something. What happened to the days of DJ Drogba shooting from outside the box and it's a belter, right? Or like a big save from Peter Cech because you know Odegaard tried to do like a crazy fitness shot, from whatever, right? Like, give us that, man. Not this haram football that we keep seeing, where like people are celebrating corners and there's just so much BS happening in there, like just people hugging each other. And yeah, I just felt like as a football fan, I know Yaya Toure came out and said the same thing about um as a football fan how it sucks to see a big game be like this. And we've seen this a lot with Arsenal this season. And generally a lot of other teams, but mostly with Arsenal, where it's just the game is won through set pieces. And that's just that's just not the way things are supposed to go. Anyways, if we're talking about the first goal, Saliba scored. Okay, you know, for me, it was personally, it should have been an own goal because Saliba did hit the ball on a defender and
Yeah,
then it
that
was
was
deflected.
yeah.
So the fact that they gave that goal to Saliba, to me, I was very surprised because the direction of that ball changed drastically.
Yeah, I don't
So
know if they're just being nice to the young guy because Mamadou Sarr, I think is his name, that was his debut. So I'm gonna say they were just being kind to the boy because really, that's his fault. He should be heading that. No, he should be dealing with that. But yeah, maybe they just sped the boy. Maybe they sped-
maybe. But again, it was, I can't say I had too much issue with that Saliba goal other than the fact that it was an own goal and, Saliba assist. But fair and fine. My FPL was fine because I have Saliba. So it is what it is. I was surprised they gave it, but cool. It's okay. Anyways, now we get to Chelsea's equalizer, right? Where the ball is crossed in. Declan Rice is basically bear hugging. What's his name? Hato?
Yeah.
He's he's on him. Like his whole shoulders are on his, like they look like they're in a rom com. That's how intimately Rice was hugging this brother. He was literally like, yo, man, we ain't going anywhere. And the only reason why Rice was able to hit the ball away is because he raised his arm to flick the ball up.
Yeah.
Clear and obvious, right? It's not even like his arm was hit by mistake. He raised it up. And the fact that
I mean, he was
he's only
jumping.
in that position was because he was holding that player like that. It's not like he tried to go with his head and then his arm. No, 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 no. He was happy with what he was doing. And it's like, listen, the only way I got to get out of the situation is I got to use part of my arm to get the shit out. What does VAR do? Oh, no, no, no. That's
Okay.
not a
I don't
penalty.
think he was leading with his arm. I think he was
He did
jumping.
something. He moved it. He moved the arm. He
I
moved his
think
arm.
no, I think he was jumping, and like that's just like
Are
because
you telling me he didn't intentionally move his arm to hit the ball?
no, I'm telling you because he was holding that brother as he's jumping. That was just like a natural motion. Like the arm went up because he's holding him.
What's that? You saying the arm went up because that's just
Yeah,
how it went?
yeah.
Or
Cause
are you saying
I
he
don't
intentionally moved up?
I
He moved
don't
his
think
arm.
he tried to hit the ball with his arm like that.
Samson, come on, come on,
You know,
come on,
I
come on,
just I
brother,
don't
come
believe
on,
that.
come on. Because
Like
why
that
didn't the other
is
arm go up like that? Why didn't it? Why was there only one arm that did that? Look
isn't
back
that
at the replay.
isn't the one arm over like João Pedro? Like isn't João Pedro like fighting him off with that arm?
No, no,
Yeah.
there was no fighting.
What do you mean there's no fighting? Of
No,
course
if
there's
you look at the
fighting.
replay, both of the arms are on Hato, right? She's holding him like this. The ball comes in and it does that. It's not like it goes like this. Like I'm jumping, so I'm gonna go like that. He does this.
I need to
Come
check
on, man.
this again. Because
Please, yeah.
I thought, like he's trying to like Hacho's fighting him, right? So like they're tussling and whatever. And it's like in the middle of the tussle, he has to jump because the ball's coming.
My
And
brother, I don't know how easy it
that's just
is.
where the arm ends up.
No, because it's not even like Rice used Hato as leverage to get higher than him. Because Hato himself didn't really jump, right? Like that's not. I don't think it works that way. Like just physically on a physical level, because just of the way Rice was holding on to him. But yes, when you watch that replay, I know you will see what I'm talking about. Because definitely Rice held up his arm, but as they're looking for it, anyway. Point being, first of all, it's a foul. He's holding on to the man like that. From what I understand, that shouldn't stand in the penalty box. Anyways, okay, sure, fair and fine. Maybe that's the physicality of the Premier League. Physicality. Handball. Okay, that he hit his arm. He raised it up. He shouldn't be doing that, right? Nothing. Not even a long VAR check. So,
I mean,
did you find it?
I did find they are jumping, bro.
They're jumping, but did both his arms raise up, or just the arm that hit the ball raise up?
Just the arm. I mean, it's just the arm, but it's like I don't think he's trying
Both
to
or
hit
just
the
that
ball
one
with that.
arm? Both or just that one arm?
Like I don't think he's trying to hit the ball. I think he's trying to keep
My
Hacho from
brother,
hitting the ball.
both or one arm?
One
What
up,
moved?
but like
Okay,
as Hacho is jumping, he's basically got him in
no,
like some weird headlock, where he's
my
trying to prevent him from. I don't think he's trying to hit the ball with his hand because he
he
even
had
looks
both his
away.
arms on Hato like this. So that's what I'm saying. Like, why is it that one arm moved up and the other one didn't?
And what I'm telling you is, even as he jumps, Rice is looking away. Like I don't know how good your aim can be. That like you see this ball coming and you can
So
tell
you
that
think it was
like
a mistake that it
if
hit his
I
arm?
jump, I'm gonna do my arm like this. I'm gonna be looking here and I'm gonna hit it exactly right that
Okay,
it
okay. For
deflects
me,
out.
you mean he's looking at, why would he look away if he's trying to hit the ball away? Like, where is he looking? All right.
He's literally looking back like this.
Why is he looking back if the ball's coming forward? That's what I'm just trying to understand. Why? Why would it, where is he looking?
I think he's expecting the ball to hit him because he looks like he's bracing for impact. Like he's
So you're telling me there's no way Rice could have judged the flat of the ball and said, this is coming straight here,
I
and
just think it's a little far. Like with his head, maybe, but with his elbow,
my brother, my
while
brother,
he's
my brother.
holding someone. I mean, I think you're giving Russ a bit too much.
Let's just keep it honest, man. let's just keep it honest.
Look,
Like,
I can give you handball. I can give you intentional. I'm not sure. Bro. I'm not sure. Look, what I will say is, if it was us scoring off that, I think they would take it out. I just don't think you can give a pen for that, like in a defensive box. I don't see it.
you don't see them giving a pen for that, like
I
as a foul.
in general, nah. Like even in other games, I don't see them giving a pen for that.
But you see, it was a handball though,
Yeah. I mean, it's a
so it should have been a pen.
no. They can't just not while they're tussling like
But
that.
you're saying it's a handball, so handball in the box is
No,
not a
but there's a
penalty.
difference between like I see the ball coming, I do this to swat it, and I'm jumping with the
Handball
guy.
is handball. It's not about which part of the hand it hits.
It actually does matter. You know,
Come on, man. Come
intent
on,
does
man.
play a role.
Come on, man. Come on,
It
man.
do-
Come on,
look.
man. Okay. Let me ask you this: are Rice's arms in a natural position? Should his arms be around another player like that?
I mean, if you talk about arms being around another player, like this is where I think the issue is like if you want to referee this, you have to referee all of the things like this because in every box there's holding, there's people hugging each other. Like I think even on our goal, the first one, the entire play, Enzo's holding Gyökeres, like he's literally holding him like this. He's behind him and holding him like this. So it's like this is just defending corners. And I think it's unfortunate that like, he's jumped and the ball's in his arm, but like the defensive play itself has been allowed for a long time. You could argue like it shouldn't, but they allow this stuff. So it is what it is.
My guy, my point is that arm of Rice was not in a natural position whatsoever, because the way he raised his arm up, I'm watching the go back. That's not natural. That's not a natural position.
And I
There's no reason why your arm should be up here, Samson. There's no reason. Anyway, point being, to me personally, that's a handball. If it's on handball, it's a foul, given how his hands are all over that man. Anyway, it's not given, of course. They say, no. As you're saying, Samson, maybe you work for the PG Mobile, I don't know. But as you were saying, it was not a goal. And fortunately for Chelsea, justice prevailed and they were able to score from another corner. So right afterwards, Chelsea did get one back. However, in the build up to the second goal, first of all, Timber dives. I'm sure you've seen Hato's attempted foul on Timber, but Timber definitely fouls. Like it doesn't get fouls, he dives. There's not much contact on him to fall like that. Anyway, foul is given, Hache look hard, and because of the free kick that emanates from that, it leads to a corner, and because of that corner, that leads to the goal that Arsenal scored. Now, that's one piece. But it should have been 2-2, right? Because there's another egregious thing that happened here, another Chelsea corner, where my boy Joao Pedro is again hot from the back. Actually, no, hot on the waist. Saliba, rugby tackling Joao Pedro in the box, right? Holding him with the waist, dragging him down. He can't jump. Raya, the ball's coming. Joao Pedro actually heads the ball, and then Raya clatters into him, punches him in the face. I've sent you the photo. I'm sure our listeners have seen the photo where number one, Saliba has his arms around Pedro's waist. Raya's gloves are all up in Pedro's face as well. No foul. Nothing. Not even a VAR check. Oh, the VAR check was not really long. Wasn't looked at seriously. That should have been another penalty for Chelsea. Now, what are your thoughts about that sequence? Because is it a foul or not? Not a foul in your opinion.
I don't think it's a foul because the bar for goalies fouling you in the box is extremely high. Like that has to kick you in the face or something. Like it has to be so egregious. Like punching the ball. Like if the
He didn't punch
ball's
the ball though.
he did like I mean they
Pedro
they
did
allow,
it.
they allow
Pe-
keepers to like have a zone. Like it doesn't matter that he didn't get all the ball. The fact that like the ball's coming to him and he's punching the ball and you're in his way, they don't they're not giving you a foul for that. They will never give you a foul for that. Like unless it's like, you know, because again, this is like split second stuff. Like Joao Pedro like heads it and like Raya's hand is like right there, right? I don't think they'd give a foul for that. If maybe Joao Pedro heads it and Raya cleans him out 2 seconds later, where like it's very obvious, like, oh, Daro headed it away and now he's getting cleaned up. I could see that getting given, but that I just don't see them give stuff for against goalies for that. I will say they once gave it for against Saliba, by the way. They gave it for him heading actually same guy. When João Pedro was at Brighton, he headed the ball, Saliba headed him, they gave a penalty. So like
That's different. That's kind of different.
it's the
That's not
same
the
thing.
same.
Like it's a 50-50. They're both going for it. Like the same amount of time, like they could both head it, but someone gets there just a split second first. And Saliba
But that's
hit
what
it.
it means, because if you think about like when strikers are
Yeah.
given a through ball and they're in the box, no matter even a slight touch from the keeper, if they miss the ball and they touch the player in the box, that's usually a penalty. Usually a penalty, no matter what.
Yeah.
This situation is similar to me,
I
where
mean,
if the player gets the ball first and you get clattered by the keeper,
aerial balls, I'm telling you, I've never seen them not favor the goalie. Like the goalie
okay,
can do whatever he wants when
okay,
he's
let's
in
say
that position.
let's maybe put down to the side. What about Saliba's full grasp, full rugby tackle on Pedro? You saw that as fine? You saw that as okay?
You know, you win some, you lose some. I'm gonna tell you, you win some, you lose some, man. Hey, man. I will agree. Like I have seen them give it, so fair enough, fair enough. I have seen them give it,
I'm
but
just saying, man, like that to me was another crazy moment. And Arsenal, again, nothing given. Because the thing is,
was that off a corner? Was that in a? Do
that
you
was
know?
off a corner. Yeah, that was off a corner for Chelsea. And it wasn't, no penalty was given. There was no goal there. And,
Yeah,
that's nothing happened. So that was that. Very crazy. Very crazy at the end of the day.
yeah,
And then, of course, I'm just saying these decisions are going to in Arsenal's favor, because it should have been 2-2 at this point. Or 2 or 1-1 or 2-1. Chelsea should have like gone ahead, but that's not what happened. The Timber goal, I explained that actually wasn't a foul on Timber, and that's what led to the corner. That whatever happened. And then the last piece that happened in this game, Neto, right? You can agree, I can agree. We didn't see Neto's first yellow card.
yeah. I don't really remember what he.
We didn't see it.
Yeah.
From what I've heard,
I
it
know it's
was for
dissent.
dissent.
Yeah,
Yes,
I don't remember
because
what
there was
moment.
a goal that happened, and or something happened, and everyone was complaining. All the Chelsea players was complaining. Neto just raised his arms up, and apparently that's when he got the yellow card. But the ref didn't make it clear that Neto was getting the yellow card. In fact, I don't even think I saw the pop-up bubble come that Neto yellow. I don't think I even saw it. Usually they do that, like if a player gets yellow cards, they actually stay. Because even the commentators were surprised when now Neto gave another foul on Martinelli and it became a red card. They were like, oh, I guess he had a second yellow. Oh, that's a second, or like it wasn't clear to a lot of individuals, a lot of people, because again, the ref didn't make it a point to show Neto. We didn't even see Neto close to the ref such that it constituted a yellow card. When we saw Enzo get a yellow card for dissent, it's because we could clearly see he threw the ball away. Boom, yellow card. Okay, fair and fine,
Yeah,
right? Pedro, we didn't see it. And Pedro himself, there are videos that show that Pedro's not even looking at the ref. Pedro Neto, I guess.
yeah,
Neto was not even looking at the ref when the yellow card was issued.
yeah.
Now,
Like he like does his arms, then he like looks away, so he doesn't.
exactly. And that's when the yellow card apparently is given. So, I, right? Like, it's not clear.
Yeah,
Now, when Martinelli is down the left, he's making a run. Neto is chasing after him. Neto's not a slow guy, but I'm sure in his head he was like, listen, I don't know what's ahead of there. Let me just foul this guy. And of course, he lunges in, misses the ball completely, wipes Martinelli out, and second yellow is given, red card. When the game happened, I was like, wait a minute, Neto, if you know you're in yellow card, how brain dead are you that you make a tackle like that and not be sure that you're gonna get the ball? That seems, and it's not like Martinelli was like gonna score right away. Like he was brave. They were hugging the touchline. Martinelli still had a lot to do at that point. So I'm sure Neto just wanted to take one for the team and, you know, just even though I still think that would have been the wrong decision anyway, even if he wasn't on a yellow card, taking down Martinelli in that position was dumb. Like just keep running with him. Net is on slow. Keep running with him until like you get to the byline or something. And you know, I'm sure Martinelli like would have had to cut in and by then like hold him up wherever you take him. Like it didn't have to get that far. Someone was gonna help you in that situation. I don't think Martinelli could have actually done anything. So it was still a dumb lunge regardless, but I don't think he makes that lunge knowing that he's on a yellow card because that's another automatic foul. And we saw him after the ref showed the red card. Immediately, his eyes widened and said, "Yo, that's my first yellow. What are we doing here? What's going on?" And then the entire time he's walking around, he's just complaining about, "That's my first." Try to go to the fourth official. "That's my first. I didn't foul." He didn't know.
Mm.
So to me, and we didn't even see replays of his first yellow card, by the way. We haven't really seen proper replays of that.
I
We've
mean,
only seen like,
I caught one replay, one brief one, but like it's the one where I'm telling you where like the entire Chelsea, it's after the first goal, the entire Chelsea team is walking towards the ref, and Neto does his arms, but he's not even the first. Like Reece James is in front of the ref,
yeah,
and then
Nito's not even that close to him.
Neto does his arms and he looks away, and I guess that's when the referee decides.
Because again, in that
Yellow.
video I've seen it, it doesn't even like raise up his yellow card. I just see him
No,
take it
no,
out.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's unclear who's the yellow for.
It actually even looked like it was for Reece James.
Yeah, because Reese is no one closest to him.
Yeah.
So again, for me, it's such a weird situation. And now Chelsea's a man down. Like we know Chelsea has a attitude problem. Like this is like last week they got Fofana got a red card. They've gotten I think this is their seventh or eighth red card this season.
Ninth.
Ninth.
It's
That's
it's 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 the most in history. I think they're tied with Sunderland or something.
that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's absolutely wild. So they've brought this upon themselves too. Like they're not really the most disciplined of squads. But in this situation, I feel for Neto because he didn't know. And now it affected the game. And because Chelsea's a man down, and then of course, then the second goal happens, right? Like now it's 2-1. Arsenal, yeah. Still 5 points ahead. Yeah. And Chelsea's now sixth. So their charge, I think if they won the game, they'll shot up to third or something. Like they'll have replaced United or at least replaced Villa to fourth place. So they could have actually still been like, in a good position themselves. But because they didn't win the game, sixth. Anyway, to me, it screams corruption, Samson. It screams there's something nefarious happening here. And I don't know if it's the gender that Arsenal are supposed to like. I don't know if the Premier League script is that Arsenal are supposed to keep this 5 goal thing happening until a certain point, like maybe until the end of March, and then maybe they lose a couple of games, and then City, and like make it an exciting end to. Because I know last season it was a boring end of the Premier League because Liverpool pretty much won the thing very early on, right? There was no one who was going to catch them. So I don't know if now the plan is to add a lot more excitement to the league and make title race a lot more exciting. I don't know if that's the goal, but
Oh, your theory low-key has legs. I won't lie to you because, you know, I'll keep mentioning it. Mr. Rodri, Mr. Rodri in a post-game interview, he tore up the refs. He said some crazy stuff about the refs. The Premier League waited 25 days to say a word about it. And since then, every single game week, Manchester City have had a favorable decision that maybe shouldn't have gone their way. That maybe that shouldn't have happened. Like the game yesterday, I believe it was the first one was a stomp by Mr. Churky. He stomped on a guy, and the other one was like similar to what you're saying Rice did, but except this guy was jumping alone. But he was jumping and the ball hit his arm. Players were like, "That's a penalty." Didn't really get looked at either one. So like, I do see what you're saying. I think there's legs to that because some of the decisions I think we've gotten, I don't think we should have gotten. Like, for example, Gabriel last week, I don't think we should have gotten that. That was very fortunate. This week, I will say, I I think I think this week is I'm okay with because this week I see this stuff all the time. I see like the tussling in the box and corners. the commotion. They just let it go because again, we are very good at corners. We're always attacking corners. So like I see a lot in how we're defended, and I see a lot of you guys talk about the holding and stuff. Like I see a lot of the same stuff happen to us, and it's not called. So I'm like, yeah, that's just how they're letting it play out. So I'm cool with that. But what I will say is, I think today the referee was just terrible. Um, I think that's what you can chalk it up to, like the actual ability of the referee. Because I don't think he was necessarily trying to favor Arsenal. I just think he
You don't
wasn't.
think he was biased?
No, I just think he was not. Because the corner stuff, like that's a VAR thing. Like he's not going to see that. Like the Raya thing, I don't think he's going to see. Like that was too close. I don't think he would have seen that. The Rice thing, again, VAR is more or something they would call him to the monitor for, right? I think but him himself, the decisions he was making, the Neto one, that is unacceptable, man. If you give someone a yellow, they should know they have a yellow. Like that's number one. Number two, no one's talking about this. When he actually gives the foul, fine, I hear you. Neto's lunging, whatever. After he's lunged, right? Neto's on the ground. Martinelli is gone. Martinelli, he didn't bring Martinelli down. Martinelli kept running. He was gone, right? He's on that wing by himself. There are 2 Arsenal players in the box, 2 Chelsea players in the box. I promise you. I promise you. That's a goal scoring opportunity right there. Like something is happening. I'm not saying it's a deniable goal scoring opportunity. I'm saying why not let it play out? Why not play advantage? If he deserves a yellow, you can come back and book him anytime you want. Why not play advantage and let that play go all the way through? And that's not the first one. He did this 2 other times with Raya specifically. Raya got fouled twice trying to play a counter. Both times, Raya fought through and actually made the pass. Both times. Both times the referee waited. He saw Raya get pushed around, held his whistle. The pass goes. What are you doing? Play advantage. That's a simple rule. Like everyone knows how to play advantage. We've been playing advantage since before VAR. Like, and he did that 3 times. So I don't know. I just think the referee was terrible because, again, those 3 counters, we were in very good positions. We could have done something, and those 3 went against us. So I feel like,
You know what? You know what my conspiracy is with that? I
what?
think that was done on purpose, and I think because of exactly what you're saying is the reason why they did it like that. They're like, my brother, you're gonna give this game to Arsenal, but you can't be too obvious
Oh,
with it.
cool.
You need to make some. You need to make some because again, it's not like it really hurt Arsenal the fact that you couldn't get this counters going. It wasn't really pain. It wasn't really like a hurtful thing. At the end of the day, you still were in possession of the ball, so it's not like the ball was given away. But now it made it not clear. It made it unclear that the ref is actually biased towards Arsenal because now it's like, no, this guy was just terrible today. So yeah,
Sure. Okay, fine. I'm with you there. It's just that the first 2 on Raya happened at 1-1. It's only Martinelli's one that happened when we're already a goal up. So I'm just saying, like, because those were pretty good counters. You know how it is when there's a corner. People are in the box. Now, it's a 3v2, a 2v2. Like, imagine all game you're playing and there's 4 defenders in the box. Now it's just 2 and you're running with them. Like, come on, that's not you're not officiating in someone's favor by denying them a chance like that. Like, if anything, if he gave us those and let those play, I think your theory would have more legs. At least one of them. He gave none of them. Absolutely all of them got him wrong. Like, what are the odds?
no, but they didn't hurt Arsenal at all.
Look, just because we survived.
It's not surviving. The ball was still in your possession. Like it didn't hurt you guys at all. It's just like, yeah, sure, maybe we could have had an attack, but take, still though, it's not like it hurts you because you're still in possession of the ball. You can still do whatever you want to do.
No, but like, you understand, like a counter. where Chelsea defenders are not where they're supposed to be. They're running back to their goal, and we have our best attackers running to the goal. Like that's the best opportunity to score. Like those would have been the best opportunities that we would have had in the game to score. Everything else, their defenders were back. Caicedo was there. Everyone's in position. Like these were clear opportunities for us to create something. Is my point, and he
Listen,
denied
I'm
us
just
all
saying
of them.
this guy did all that to cover his tracks. That's all I'm saying. That's my theory. That's my theory.
Fine.
Also, if you think about like how many fouls happened here, so when I'm looking at the stats, Arsenal had 11 fouls committed. Chelsea had 13 fouls committed. But when it comes to yellow cards, Arsenal got one yellow card. Chelsea had four yellow cards, plus a red card.
A few of those were for dissent, though. A couple of those are for dissent. Like I think, let me.
Still, I'm just saying, like, I just think that Chelsea were unfairly refed and officiated today. I hate Chelsea. Don't get me wrong. I am all for Chelsea's downfall. I hate that club so much. But when unfair is unfair, we gotta call it. We gotta call it out. Chelsea was unfairly officiated today, and it was for the benefit of Arsenal.
To
That's
remember.
my theory.
So yeah, Enzo, that was for dissent.
Mm-hmm.
Pedro Neto first one was for dissent. Hato.
On the timber dive.
Yeah, I guess that was Hato's 65th minute. That's right, like right before that's for the free kick.
Yes. We
And
send it to the
then
corner. We send it to the goal.
and then Cole Palmer. I can't remember what Cole Palmer did.
Kopama held back Saka, I think. Like when they were about to break away, and then Cole
Oh yeah,
Palmer
yeah,
like
like
dragged him down.
in the box.
It was I
Yeah,
think in
we
the box, so
we
like right
just had a
outside.
corner. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Or they just
That's
had
when
a
Palmer
corner.
got
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah, so like those are standard yellows. I feel those are fine.
So you think the fact that Arsenal had 11 fouls and only got one yellow card, you don't find that a little suspicious?
I mean, I guess a little, but if they get two, because I think we never did the stuff they did. Like we didn't deny a counter, we didn't have dissent really. So
Literally, there's a point where Saliba, Joao Pedro, has gotten the
he
ball.
he should have been carded for. Okay, fine, yeah, he should have gone a yellow card for that. There's
Exactly.
there's one, yeah, I think I know the answer you're talking about. Where like it's on the
He
wing.
budges into him. It's on the wing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
and like yeah. That I thought that was actually a yellow. I thought he was already carded for that. But
Nope.
yeah, he
Didn't get
was.
one.
Yeah, yeah. Fair
Didn't get
enough.
one.
Fair enough.
So that's what I'm just saying. Like, just the way the game was officiated today, I think, yeah, it was just, yeah, it was a little wild. And the fact that crazy. Okay, this is really really small, but even in the Chelsea goal, Reece James, that goal was on target either way, but they gave it as a Hinkampi own goal. But
Come on.
Saliba is given a goal even though it was a major deflection.
Come on. I mean, if Nkapi doesn't touch that, I think Raya probably gets a touch on it because his head, like,
No, but same
basically.
can be said about
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Chelsea goal.
100%. I think, yeah, the other one should have gone to Mr. Sara there. I think that was his.
Exactly. So it was just again, it's just weird. Like it's just something else. I'm sure Reese would have wanted that goal, right? I'm sure that if they just said, "Oh, Reese James goal," it would have been fine because actually there was less directional change from Nkambi touching the ball
No, but
as
like,
compared to Saliba's.
I don't think it's much of a directional change. I think it picked up pace when it hit Nkapi's head because, like, he pointed it to the bottom corner. Like, the ball was still, like, in this zone for the keeper, like, right? Like, he can do something here, but it hit his head and it went straight down. And I think,
That's
you know,
still less change than Saliba.
it is, but like, it hurts the chances of Raya saving it because it's
It
almost like
hurted the chance of Sanchez saving the goal. That
Sanchez was nowhere near. But
hey
yeah,
man,
I see what you're saying. Like, I think both should be.
they should be on
Um,
goals. The fact that the
yeah,
Hincapi
like
one was given, it means that
Yeah,
right?
you should give both his own goals, yeah, for sure. Because yeah,
So
both turned them in.
I know I'm getting nitpicky, but it just adds to the story a little bit about how Chelsea was officiated today and everything that's happened. I don't know what the ultimate. I don't know if the story is that Arsenal are supposed to win the league, and that's what's happening here, or if the story is let's push this as far as possible, and we'll make Man City win the league.
I
I
promise
don't know
you,
what the ultimate story is.
if there's a story, the story is let's let Arsenal get to the final day just so we can take it away. If there's a story, if they're trying to sell something, I promise you that's what they're selling. Because there's no bigger story than that. There'll be nothing better than that. Like Arsenal winning it, I don't think that is as juicy as because people we're hated. We're the ones everyone's preying on their downfall. So like I just yeah. If there's a story, maybe they're keeping us in so they can destroy us on the final day. I don't know, but if they
Okay,
if they did,
yeah. The only thing I'm thinking about is if that's the story, is there like a benefit towards Arsenal? But maybe some of these things just don't have a benefit. Maybe just to the detriment of that. Because when I think about Spurs, like, what's the benefit of us if we actually do end up getting relegated or not relegated? Like, what does Spurs gain out of it? Nothing
I
really.
actually
So
feel like it low key hurts the league to be honest, because that's a significant fan base that's not there anymore.
exactly.
But
So I'm not sure what the goal is supposed to be with these agendas. I guess all they know then towards the end of the season, like what the actual script is because the script is showing itself very heavily this season, very very heavily. So
I'll be honest with you, I don't necessarily think there's a script, but if there is a script, I think the script has it that Spurs stay up. Spurs will find a way um in the final weeks. It'll make you sweat for it, but Spurs will find a way. Maybe you'll do it by goal difference. They'll make it embarrassing, but if there's a script, you're staying because they can't afford to have you not in there. If there's a script, I pray there's no script because if there's a script, man, I know Man City have something nasty loading for us, man. If there's a script, oh my days, we're actually cooked. But I don't think there's a script. I think we have a bunch of inconsistent, um, not even inexperienced, just bad at their jobs, just incompetent referees, arrogant, incompetent, inconsistent referees. I think that's what it is because
corruption.
some of these things, if there was some honesty involved, if there was some honor involved, like I don't think that would be happening as much. I think there's just this sheer arrogance from the PGML that like we're never wrong. Trust us, believe us. These guys are wrong. We know what's right, and it just there's never any accountability at the end of the day, and I think that's what's hurting us.
My brother, there's no accountability in corruption. So there's no honor amongst thieves at the end of the day. That's just how it is. And unfortunately, we're the ones that'll have to pay for it watching this stuff. But for myself, for me and my household, I am disillusioned with football. After today, especially if we get relegated, I think that's the end of my football career. My football fandom career. I don't even watch Spurs in the championship. Like, there's no point. We'll, we're not gonna get back up. There's no way. So, yeah, I think the only way we go in is like I know we still make more money than because just of our stadium. We'll still
Yeah,
make more money than any of the championship level teams, anyways. So at the very least, I feel like maybe we'll get a bunch of the good talent from the championship,
right.
and we'll probably survive just because of everything we have is just better.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, listener, that is really the full scope and full breadth of our corruption, inconsistencies, and conspiracy. Actually, it's a triple C. Well, corruption, inconsistency, and conspiracy. Yeah, it's a lot of C's in there. Anyway, so that is the full rundown of the games that just happened today. Give us your thoughts in the chat, like what you think. Do you believe what I'm saying? Do you think I'm crazy? Did you also see what we saw? Did you not? Are you fine with it? Are you not? Like, do you hate it? Do you love it? Let us know, man. Tell us what you think the end of the story is supposed to be like. Do you think it's supposed to be in Arsenal's favor, City's favor? Who knows? Man United's favor? Who knows like what the story is supposed to be. But anyways, any last words from you, Samson?
Nah, just you know, Arsenal, keep chugging along. I would like less heart attacks, less heart problems. I know asking for that with this manager is, like, in fact, I don't even think it's up for Arteta because I think he was suffering from the same heart attacks I was at the end of that game. They had 10 men and they were threatening us, bro. Like, I don't like this life, bro. I want more peace. I would like more peace. And those 11 players out there, if you're listening to me, except Saka, because Saka's always got our backs. The rest of you lot, man, can you please just make my life easier, bro? Can you please just, you know, even in the beginning, you know how many times we robbed Robert Sanchez in the beginning? This
Mm-hmm.
would have been an easy 3-0. But no, we need the set pieces. We need to struggle. We need to fight 2-1 against 10 men. Can we please just, I would like some peace, please, brothers. Please help me out, man. Help me.
Give the brother some peace. Well, I pray for the opposites. I want my brother stressed out. So anyway, with that, listener, we thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.